GM, why AI replacing everyone will take longer than you think? So this is a pretty bold claim. There's a lot of noise in the AI world with AI automation and AI, artificial general intelligence, artificial superintelligence. There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of people on both sides saying AI is going to replace everyone by 2030, or that AI is going to take much longer and is actually not as good as we expect. Well, I'll say AI right now is pretty fucking good. I mean, you can ask ChatGPT to do a lot of things for you already. Haven't we already reached artificial general intelligence? You can ask the scientists back then and show them what we have right now, and they'll definitely say, yeah, that's artificial general intelligence. But why, if that's the case, why are everyone still employed, and why is unemployment not at 100% if we've reached artificial general intelligence? I'm going to talk about these things from the practical perspective of me, because I have a lot of technical, or I want to say a lot, but I definitely have like a decent bit, definitely more than like most people, about AI automation, like creating my own workflows, whether it's make.com or Power Apps or Ultimately, Instantly, like these wonderful apps. There's a lot of automation apps out there. I've tried a decent bit of them, but I want to talk about in this video why it might take longer for people to actually have businesses fully automated and people not having their jobs anymore. I will say is that the chance of this happening, like almost damn near 100% unemployment rate, is pretty high in the next decades, in my own opinion. That's just where the trend's going, because a lot of work in office jobs can be automated by AI automation processes with the advent of AI agents. But what I will give as the argument, though, is that like a lot of businesses, a lot of corporate world, because I've been in the corporate world for a year or two now, and I really see like what people are talking about behind the scenes. And there's a lot of talking about AI. You look in the stock market, everything's about AI. We got to implement AI this, AI that, and people can create like a ChatGPT wrapper and get millions of dollars of funding from VCs just because it has the brand name of AI. Like, we are quite literally in the AI craze right now. And you know, maybe we are near the bubble of it. I think there was like an Economist magazine where they're saying, is AI having $3 trillion of funding with NVIDIA? We're not like, all of these are top signals, by the way, for the market. But I don't know. I want to ground you guys really quick here, and let's think about artificial intelligence. What will it actually take to replace everyone in 99% unemployment rate? I will say is that, first of all, you would need all of the business processes to be automated with this new infrastructure, because what I also notice with a lot of businesses is that they use pretty archaic infrastructure. Like the company I'm at, they use pretty old software from like 1990s still, and it's because if they wanted to migrate their data to a new software infrastructure, it's going to take a lot of fucking work, because they have decades of data in there, quite literally. And they can't exactly just do that, because they have to be constantly running every fucking week, right? So there is that adoption resistance, where for people to adopt new technologies, unless it's already within the platforms they use. So Microsoft is a pretty common one that a lot of people use. So there was like things like Power Apps and whatnot, which they have some pretty nice capabilities, but the limitation is that these are limited to Microsoft. And you know, some people, they are able to create Microsoft ecosystems of the Dataverse and the Power Automate and the Power Apps, such that everything is actually automated in there. And it doesn't like automate every single process ever, but it automates a lot of the business stuff. But some people are able to do that, but the reality is that not a lot of business actually, even though they have the tools, they don't really exactly fully integrate that, because a lot of data is very messy. It's all over the fucking place. That's the reality of it. So you need somebody to come in and crunch all these numbers, find the data, compile it together, and actually adopt a new technology and connect the brain pieces. Like, what I'm saying is that from my own practical experience, doing an automation task like, oh, let's just automate your job, it's a lot easier said than done. It's a lot of variables, it's a lot of engineering. And what I will say is that, like, the fact that a lot of businesses still use technologies from 1990s with fax printers and bureaucracy, like even in Japan, for example, they use all of these, they use fucking fax machines. Like, I don't know. It's a bit weird because we have clearly better infrastructure now, but why the fuck aren't most big businesses or even businesses that run at all, why aren't they using it? It's because they're already having a Lindy effect if the old infrastructure they're using. Will they change with this new AI wave? Like a lot of people, they love to talk about integrating AI, but they don't really actually talk about integrating it practically. That's what I fucking noticed. A lot of people love to yap about, oh, we need to implement AI. They're in the meetings, and then all the people in the meetings are like clapping, like, yeah, let's fucking go. Because they hear that in the stock market. They see Nvidia going to the moon, and they're like, holy fuck, yeah, we got to integrate AI. Like, this is what the human mind is. Once things are topping like that, once the markets are pumping like fucking crazy, when they're all-time highs, that's when you want to buy. Not when it's capitulated 90% down in the lows, and that is the best price you will get for many years. Everything looks like shit there, but now they want to buy when everything is going up. That's how these bull market bubbles essentially get fucking insane, and then people leverage too hard, and then when there's too much leveraging, then that ends up in a leverage flush, which eventually turns into a huge wiping of the price. But there's a lot more talking about integrating AI than actually integrating it, is my basic answer here. And this is from my own perspective, my own data, just from looking at how things are done. And I think a lot of companies, there is going to be a small percentage, like 1 to 10%, who are actually integrating AI automations to make their life much better. But like even still, when it comes to, because like I work as an engineer, right? As an engineer, it's not exactly a very simple job. It's very complex. There's many steps. There's literally, in my own workflows, there's hundreds of steps I have to take on a daily basis to essentially get a project done. And yes, AI can come in and automate everything, but again, as I said earlier, the resistance to have somebody be competent enough to come in and automate these very tedious processes and develop a whole full front end, back end system that automates it and humans just have to manage it. Yes, it is theoretically possible, but as I said, the barrier of entry for somebody to design such a system is so fucking high because of the amount of variables in it. And there's also context within the business. How will you know if the AI, let's say it's going to generate a model for the customer, like for engineering, right? A schematic or a drawing, how will they know specifically based off the requirements? Like, will AI just be able to read their mind? I mean, I know that they're trying to have that technology. I haven't seen it yet. I think if they do get it, then I will change my mind. But for now, as how things are, I don't know. I don't know if it will take 5 to 10 years, because, like, let's say artificial superintelligence does come out. Well, that's great, right? Maybe OpenAI creates ChatGPT 6, and then ChatGPT 6 is artificial superintelligence. And artificial superintelligence is basically when the AI is better than even experts at their own field. So they're better at, so this ChatGPT 6 is better than Magnus Carlsen at chess. Plus, it's better than Albert Einstein at physics. Plus, it's better than Warren Buffett at stock market investing. So they're literally better than the top, or literally the best of the best in the world in their own respective niches, and they're better at fucking everything. That's when artificial superintelligence comes in and theoretically can replace everyone, right? But then you need to actually integrate that as agents, and then integrate it as when they work in businesses to automate processes to replace human labor. That's going to take a lot of fucking time. It doesn't just happen like, oh, ChatGPT 6 is released and then now the next fucking day all businesses are automated and now 99% of people are out of jobs. And it doesn't fucking happen that quickly. It's most likely going to take I would say a few years. But you know, technology is expanding at a much rapid rate, but you also have to think about the lag from people actually integrating technology into their own businesses and their own respective fields, right? Because even if you look in literature for STEM, there's so many niche discoveries that scientists make every fucking day, but how much of those are actually being integrated into actual engineering projects? These take time. There's a whole fucking workflow process to it. It doesn't fucking get integrated the next fucking day, right? So that's my argument for why I think AI replacing everyone. I don't know if it'll happen by 2030, 2035. The thing is that this idea that AI is replacing everyone is already becoming so fucking mainstream. I hear it just from normies just walking out when I go outside, and I just hear people just talk about it, and I'm just like, bro, like, this is so fucking mainstream. It's pretty much commonly accepted. Your grandma's already accepting that AI will replace everyone. Okay, well, when society has accepted something to be true, will it actually come into fruition? Like, from my own perspective as like a trader as well, is that really the case? I don't know, because a lot of people love to throw those words around. They don't really actually understand the practical implications, and I actually have those practical implications. I actually have the real world experience, seen it with my own fucking eyes, and understand how long it will take to integrate these technologies. Will that happen? I don't know. It might happen by 2050, by 2030. I don't know. That's 5 years from now. I don't know. Will we reach 100% unemployment rate then? I don't know. I think it's lower possibility. I still think there's many decades to come. I think maybe, I'm not trying to give predictions. I don't know what exact date it will happen at. It is definitely a possibility, but just because it's a possibility doesn't mean it's going to happen the next fucking day, right? Because we also understand, like, with fiat decay and the US dollar, they stop backing it with gold. Well, yeah, that means it's going to go to zero, but it's not going to happen the next fucking day. So you don't just like ape all your fucking money into hard assets the next fucking day as soon as you find it. You buy into them slowly over time, or maybe you have systems to tell you when to allocate hard or not. But yeah, that's pretty much all I was saying in this video. I just wanted to talk about some technological aspects. I will say that because of this, AI automation as a career is, like, people actually integrating these AI technologies into businesses is probably going to be one of the largest high demand careers going forward in the next few years, because I do think that this AI bubble, as a fundamental, it is extremely strong. Speculatively in the stock market, might be topping soon, but that doesn't mean that it's going to go, like, Nvidia is going to go minus 90% in the next fucking year or so. No, fundamentally it's still very fucking good. It's just that the people that build during that time, so when AI is not the hype, those guys, once AI comes back and artificial superintelligence all over the fucking place, and then people are trying to find people to hire to automate their businesses because they don't want to get left in the dust, those guys are going to get paid a lot. And AI automation is still an extremely new fucking career niche. It's only been around for like a few years at this point, like from a technical perspective, ChatGPT, right? Because ChatGPT was the start of AI. It was released in 2022, and 3 years, you're telling me? It's been 3 years, and like AI automation fundamentally is probably one of the best fucking careers to go into. I mean, there's also that, and then also like there's also being an electrician in the real world, because for people to integrate AI and robots, there needs to be electricians to do that. So that's also a good career. But like AI automation, like nobody's fucking talking about it. Everybody's telling you still go to school and become a computer scientist, or I mean, mechanical engineering, like my own career, it's not bad either, because somebody needs to design the robots, right? But yeah, I just think it's probably one of the best niches. Like, they don't teach this in college. Maybe they do, but from what I've seen, they don't teach it. They're still trying to get you to take those gender studies classes or whatever the fuck. I don't know. Nobody fucking teaches this from my own perspective. I think it's going to be one of the most useful skill sets going forward. There's a lot of apps out there, and if you want to try, just tinker with some, make your own automations and whatnot. I personally made my own just for fun, and they work dangerously good. But yeah, that's pretty much all I was saying in this video. I just wanted to talk about AI, why it will take much longer than people might think for it to replace everyone, from the perspective of the stock market bubble, people pretty much commonly accepting AI is going to replace their jobs. And I'll, like, again, if people consensusly believe in something, it's most likely going to go the other way. So that's just my own intuition, plus from what I've seen practically. I know I'm repeating myself, but I know repetition is very, very good for people to internalize ideas and thoughts. So yeah, that's pretty much all I'm saying in this video. I'll see you guys.